So think of what you did this morning in ATM. Just imagine for a few minutes. Can you remember the sequence? Was there a reason for the sequence? You can have your legs long if you wish. You can have your feet on the floor if you wish. And don't forget the side bending, which helps to soften your ribs. Assists in graceful falling to be able to side bend. And also the softness in your ribs takes you closer to the ground, more area, on more contact with the ground, and that sliding around of your upper torso and the contact with the floor. The contact of your right foot on the floor to the left. And the stability of that right leg in the standing position. So your knee is towards the ceiling as you're thinking about this. Can you find a way to sense that your breathing is free? You're thinking, very busy thinking. Keep on thinking. And transfer your thoughts to the other side. So how are you going to organize this on the other side? Thinking. And again, finding the order. Sensing your contact on the floor. And our brain, our nervous system, prepare our muscles to act if we're very clear in the way we think about it, the way we think about these movements. So it's easy to imagine your left foot standing in your right hand with your knee towards the ceiling. Find the organization around your pelvis that enables you, through your pelvis and spine, that enables you to stand your left leg in your right hand. And as you imagine putting your left hand on top of your head, which way are you going to slide your head, your arm, and your upper torso around to put your left foot in your right hand? And also remember that the question was not in rotating your head, but in moving it sideways with your face orientated towards the ceiling. So it was a side bending with a little bit of translation. It was sliding around. And then imagine that someone has taken hold of your hair and that you're thinking that your head will lift a little bit and move a tiny bit right and left. This imagination, this thinking about the movement of your head right and left is not interrupted by you holding your breath. Your breathing is quiet. The softness in your ribs allows the air to move in all directions. So you're imagining that your right arm becomes longer so that it's in the position to take your left foot in it, palm up. And then think of putting your left knee into your right palm. And then your left foot stands behind your right bent leg. Attend to your left hip, your pelvis, and your spine. and you alternate between putting your knee and your foot into your right hand, your left knee and your left foot. And just notice that for some people, it's easier to do the movement than it is to think about it. And just do some quiet movements in the direction of taking your left foot into your right hand. So which way have you chosen to shift your head and upper torso? Can you keep your ribs and your upper back in contact with the floor as you slide around? Which side of your pelvis do you lift that it enables you to have a standing foot? And just play with the idea that you've got a choice of which way you take your head and your upper ribs. So this is thinking more than doing, but you're just doing a little bit of lazy movement. Exploring the idea and understanding if in fact it does help to move a little bit. And lie on your stomach and take a rest. And just sense if there's liveliness through your torso, through your spine, as a result of all that thinking. If you can feel the fullness of your breath through your ribs on either side of your spine, and also between your right armpit and the top of your right pelvis, your left armpit and the top of your left pelvis. Feel the support of the floor through your torso. Please now lie on your back. Please put both hands on top of your head. Open your elbows. And on top of your head, not underneath. On top of your head, not behind your head. And very gently now, just move your head and shoulders right and left. Make small movements. Feel the involvement of your ribs. And next time you take your head to the right, take your straight right leg out to the right. Straight leg, not a bent leg. So gently, you're taking your elbow, your right elbow around to the right, your head to the right, and your leg out to the right. And feel the bending, the side bending in the right, and the length through your left. Gently. And rest for a moment. Put your hands on top of your head again, please. And this time, as you take your head and your arms to the right, take your left leg straight to the left. And feel what happens through your ribs and your spine with this organization. So is it easier to take your left leg out to the left as you take your head and your shoulders to the right? So then take your right leg out to the right as you take your head and shoulders out to the right. Take your head and shoulders to the right as you take your right leg out to the right. And feel the different organization through your torso. And then take your head and shoulders to the left as you take your right leg out to the right. And feel how that is. And then you can take your head and shoulders to the left as you take your left leg straight out to the left. It's not a rotation, it's a side bending. Keep your elbows towards the floor. And let your arms and legs go long. Feel your breathing. And the contact of your ribs on the right from the top of your shoulder down to the top of your pelvis. I know your ribs aren't sitting on your pelvis, but have a sense of the contact through there on the floor. As well as on the left, similarly. And have a sense of the width of your contact, the width of the way your ribs can contact the floor. Slowly now, using the idea of one leg crossing over the other and rolling, can you sit and then stand? So you're thinking of taking that leg across and standing on the foot. Feel you standing here. You're turning one way and the other to look behind you. The involvement of all of yourself. The way your feet are contacting the floor. The weight through your feet. And go for a walk and feel how that is. And I think you're having 4 early minutes, thanks to me.